Welcome to the viewers of Burundi Television. Welcome to this English news edition. Let's first start with the headlines. Special day today as the President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, has officially assumed the chairmanship of the African Union. He took over this leadership in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia during the 39th Summit of African Heads of State and the Government. Evariste Ndayishimiye has committed himself to lead that organization with impartiality, listening to all member states in order to build a united Africa characterized by peace, security, development and stability. And still in Ethiopia, beside those audiences, Burundi Head of State Evariste Ndayishimiye participated in the Summit of Heads of State and the Government of Free Trade Zone, ZERCAF. He also participated in the 35th Ordinary Session of Heads of State and Government of the Self-Assessment Mechanism. Welcome again. Come details now. Historical day today as President Evariste Ndayishimiye has officially assumed the chairmanship of the African Union. He took over this leadership in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia during the 39th Summit of African Heads of State and the Government. Evariste Ndayishimiye has committed himself to lead that organization with impartiality, listening to all state members in order to build a united Africa characterized by peace, security, development and stability. Details with Marius Mihigwa.
Burundi Head of State Evariste Ndayishimiye has taken the reins of the African Union, succeeding his Angolan counterpart, João Lourenço, who has just completed his one-year term at the head of the Organization of the African Countries, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The handover ceremony took place in the presence of several African heads of state and government, as well as representatives of the international organizations that support African countries, including the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He invited the African countries to make the most of the abundant natural resources of their continent and to strengthen energy sources in order to achieve sustainable development. For his part, he reiterated his commitment to making UN-Africa cooperation a priority during the remainder of his term office. The speech conveyed messages of congratulations and support to the new chairperson of the African Union in implementing the organization's objectives. They also addressed very important issues, notably peace and security on the continent, as well as economic and social development. In his acceptance speech, President Evariste Ndayishimiye, now chairperson of the African Union, congratulated his predecessor for the achievements made during his mandate. He then promised to courageously go on with the implementation of ongoing projects. Evariste Ndayishimiye reassured that his term would prioritize impartiality and cooperation with all. Peace and security are among the pillars of his presidency of the African Union, and President Evariste Ndayishimiye announced that peace is an essential condition for institutional stability. This 13th Ordinary Summit of the Heads of State and Government of the African Union is being held, as usual, at the organization's headquarters of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. It began on a Saturday and will conclude on Sunday. The theme chosen for this year is ensuring sustainable availability and management of safe sanitation systems to achieve the objectives of Agenda 2063.
Burundi is an exemplary country for its charity and solidarity acts. The remarks were made by Antonio Guterres, the General Secretary of the United Nations, this Friday during a meeting with the Burundian Head of State Evariste Ndayishimiye before taking the reins this Saturday of the presidency of the African Union Organization. Evariste Ndayishimiye has also received in audience several partners of Africa and Burundi in particular, who came to show their unwavering support for the future presidency of the African Union. And besides those audiences, Burundi Head of State Evariste Ndayishimiye has participated in the summit of heads of states and the government of the Free Trade Zone, ZELCAF. He also participated in the 35th ordinary session of heads of states and the government of self-assessment mechanism, a session during which member countries were called to strengthen good governance, democracy and the rule of law to establish peace and stability in those countries. And the different members of different regions and the civil society organizations appreciate that Burundi has taken the lens of the presidency of the African Union from this Saturday. Apart from the benefits that Burundi will gain, they asked all Burundians to support this new responsibility through development actions and prayers. Details with Marius Migwa.
Some members of civil society as well as representatives of religious denominations are delighted that Burundi has had the honor of presiding over the African Union. Within the organization Capes Plus, Hamza Venabuli Kuki explains that Burundi stands to gain. From the Muslim community of Burundi, Solomon Nayabagabo, who also spoke on the matter, stated that the country will gain greater international recognition. He added that Burundi will also benefit economically as it will host many visitors and organize international meetings which will lead to an inflow of foreign currency into the country. For the Burundi Women's Forum, Emerance Buchumi, who also expressed her views, believes that this is a good opportunity for women engaging in cross-border trade to build relationships with other women from different countries. This will allow them to exchange knowledge with women who are more advanced in the field of commerce, enabling them in turn to achieve sustainable development. Within the African Ministry of Compassion, Aimé Pascal Ndoimana stated that this year will be exceptional as Africa now has a leader who believes in God and it takes time to pray to God twice a year together with the population he leads. Aimé Pascal Ndoimana, the legal representative of MAC, stated that Africa has truly found a light to guide it. All of those interviewed are calling on Burundians to take advantage of this opportunity offered to the country. Everyone, wherever they are encouraged to work with the development of the country and the African continent in mind. They also urged all Burundians to support the President of the Republic through their actions and through prayer.
Well, this is the end of this English edition. Thank you for attention. Have a good time.